Hey, Brenda, Jonathan, Drone Shots is here. Hey, here comes Dominic.
Good evening, all. How are we?
How are you doing? Good morning.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm just studying in the background.
Not a problem, not a problem. We're joined with Jonathan and Drone Shots and Brenda
Yep.
Sunstar and East Coast Thrills.
Hello, all.
Oh, you saw my video? East Coast must have seen my drone video for the Neo.
I haven't got around to that, but yes, I will. So you actually got it. You got it
I got
bound.
it, so I downloaded it. Yes.
Oh, great. So you're all flying. Okay, I'll go off and watch the video when I finished
Yeah,
here.
what it does is it puts it in a different file. I had to look the different file up because usually everything I do is
Yep.
MP4 or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is in DCMI,
Yeah.
so I had to go find that file.
I'm pretty sure that's how the Mini 2 does it as well. Puts it in a strange file.
Yeah.
Because I take it off the SIM card, put it in the computer, and then you've got to go to that a specific folder.
Yep.
And
Hey,
here's
TJ, he's out for
TJ.
dinner.
What's happening?
Mr. Peanut Butter and Jelly himself.
No,
Yes, there
I,
he
I think
is.
I think it's I think I got a meat sandwich today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Today's Friday.
and
You supposed to eat meat
my
on
drink.
Friday?
Huh?
Yep.
Well, I had
Well,
yesterday. Yes.
well,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yesterday I had the pizza. So, and then I didn't have any leftovers, but I had my sandwich. I was gonna bring my sandwich yesterday, but then we had leftover from pizza from what was it, last night? Yeah. And so like brought that yesterday, and now I got my sandwich.
Okay. Well
Yeah.
done then.
Yeah.
So how's everybody doing? East Coast Thrills, TJ?
We're hanging in there. We got a one of the girls that's not so right in the head. She's kind of an oddball.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
A couple of kangaroos short of a paddock.
yes, exactly.
Because we have to be politically correct these days when talking or discussing about anything to do with mental impairment.
Right, right.
You think you think I'm being serious? No, I'm just looking out for the other people out there because people watch these streams, and if
Yeah,
if there's
yeah,
something that's just a little bit short on it, people these days, even if you spell something incorrectly or say something
yeah,
wrong, they'll
yeah.
go and report it.
Yeah, exactly,
That's
exactly.
and that's what's wrong with life these days. You're gonna
Yeah,
have
it's
people out
weird.
there
Like
that are gonna.
people can take things like so wrong. It's like, no, that's
Oh,
not what I was
definitely.
saying at all.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. I know that. But there are people out there that if you make even a slightest of judgment errors,
Yeah,
they'll come out with the
they'll twist it.
pitchforks for you.
Yeah, they'll twist it up and like.
Yeah. As I said, it'd
Which,
be like me coming out with the pitchforks because you said aluminum.
yeah, oh yeah. So is this your first flight with the Neo?
Yeah, first and second flight this morning and then this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
And it was a little windy out there.
Yeah, and wind and that is not good. 135 grand. The mechanics behind it. Oh, power lines.
Yeah, I'm not used to it, but I think the handle is pretty good.
Doing better than me so far.
Heading back around towards my house. That's my house right there. This is the second flight here.
Mm.
Hey. Well done. Well done.
So it
Bravo.
flew pretty
Bravo.
good.
Yeah.
I don't need to sell it right today.
Uh, now, how did you? I know you were struggling this morning to get the video out. How did you finally figure out how to get the footage off?
I had to pull the card out of the controller, SD card, load it up, and then turn around and you look for it's not an MP4 or any of that kind of file. It's a DCMI file.
Mm.
Oh,
But Dominic, I thought you said that you thought that's the way most of the
Well, that's what I noticed on the Mini too. When I take this, when I take the SD card out, it seems to come up with that. It's all in a DCM something file. So the folder has that, and then you go the
right.
different folders, and the folders show. That's the file structure that I noticed on the Mini 2. I've not used any other drone, so I can't really tell you.
What you eating now?
applesauce.
Applesauce.
Yeah. And then I got some strawberries and some yogurt and nutty bars.
Ed Hessick, hello, hello.
What's up, Ed? I seen Jonathan. What's up, Jonathan? I think I seen Brenda in the chat. What's
Jonathan,
up, Brenda?
Brenda.
Is Captain Joe in the chat too?
No, he had to go shoot football.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, today's sports day at work today, so I'm not wearing my usual work shirt. I'm wearing a football shirt, and then two of
Yay.
the other girls, two of the other girls had on sports attire, so we got a picture taken.
Yeah, we do that. We do that several times a year, where you have to wear a. It's
Like it's like there's something different for like every month of the week or whatever.
yeah, but in
But-
general, we do it as a thing for charity as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
wear
was
your
saying.
sports
Like 'cause
colours.
last, like, yeah, was it? Yes, like a couple days ago, we had Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we got to wear
Yeah,
pink or
we
whatever.
do that, and all our teams wear pink somewhere on their jumper.
Oh, there you
Breast
go.
cancer, BCNA, breast
Well,
cancer
TJ
awareness.
TJ
Breast Cancer
one up them
Network.
all. He went and got 2 balloons and put them in there.
I should have done that. I should have done that.
Mr. Breast
Dag
Cancer
nabbit.
himself, you know?
should have put 2 balloons up in there.
Yeah. Something for you to think
Damn.
about next year, buddy.
Yeah, right. And then I think like the 15th or whatever, it's Hawaiian shirt day, so we get to wear Hawaiian shirts.
East Coast,
Yeah.
East Coast Thrills
I'll be bringing that back.
said you look like
Every
you look
Monday
like
I'll be wearing one
a
now.
little league coach.
Dusty said what?
You look like a little league coach.
Yeah, I could be. You never know.
Hello, David.
What's up, David?
David, how you doing?
Yeah, you can wear your Preston North End colours.
Did they win?
They did not. But then
Oh
again,
no.
we didn't draw. In other words, we're not playing this week.
Oh, okay. So you got the bye.
No, it's international week.
Oh, okay. Well, we'd call that a bye.
No, there's just no games this week.
Yeah. Yeah, when there's no games this week, for us, that's what we would call it in Australia.
No, we just call
Yeah, that's what we call. That's what we
Week
call
off.
a bye
a
week or
bye.
whatever.
Right, a bye is where either the team you're playing forfeits the game, giving you a bye to the next round, or the competition organisers don't find you a team, and therefore you're given a bye to the next round.
Okay. Different terminologies for different countries.
It's called a bye for bypass.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But when there's no
But yeah, I
games,
find it
it's a normal
fascinating.
weekend. Yeah, it's still a normal weekend. It's just no games because I'd like to say England are playing, but they're not. They're doing something, but they're not playing football.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, we got on the tube last night. We all the Matt Fly fans, and they were all like, really hyped up. Woo! Got on the tube, and all the England fans were there. Looked like they were ready to hang themselves. It's like, this ain't going to go well. I asked the guy what the score was, and he told me to fuck off.
Oh shit! Oh my
I was
god,
being serious. I needed to know the score.
that was kind of rude of him. You're just asking him a guy for a score, like.
Yeah, but when you're in
Not like
London, and it's a multinational city, yeah.
I mean, it's
you
not like
get a
you're.
lot of
It's not like you're
banter when
asking
it
him
comes
for
to
some like.
football.
Well,
You
it's
get
not like
people
you're asking him for like.
deliberately asking the score, not when they know the score, just to piss you off. So they must have thought I was doing that.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, you're just asking for a score. It's not like you're asking him for some personal info or something like that. I've never heard of that before. Walking up to somebody and asking them what the score is, they tell you to fuck off.
Have you not seen the American football guy that has the opposition shirt on? He hasn't even been to the game, but he walks through the home crowd asking them the score, knowing that they got beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. How he got to the end of that road, I'll never know because
I
someone
know. But I'm going to say
Yeah.
there are certain things that you don't do in Australia, and putting on various footy jumpers here and asking the team opposite to the jumper you've got on how they went, you'll get lynched.
Yeah. You missed it, yeah.
And the reverse. If you're wearing the team, if your jumper is the team that won, and you're asking how the other team went, you'll get lynched as well.
Guys,
They
cover
can't
for me.
win.
I'm going to go catch a ship real quick.
Go for it.
Okay.
Don't take the Neo.
Well,
Don't take the new. Yeah.
somehow
take the
yesterday,
knee.
when we got to the O2 Arena, they've got this gaming venue where you can go in and play on the Xbox. Or any game you want on the Xbox. You normally get an hour, but they gave us as long as we wanted. Which was alright. Laura somehow ends up playing Fortnite, obviously.
Yeah.
I go on FC25, the new one. And I'm winning 16-0 when Laura says, I need to go to the toilet. Well, fucking go. I'm having a game of my life here. Right? 2 minutes later,
What's she going?
2 minutes later, she rings me and says, are you finished? So I've had to put the controller down on the table to answer the phone. She's like, are you finished? Are you coming? I'm like, when I finish the game, I'll be down. Put the phone down, picked up my controller. In them couple of seconds, somehow I managed to have 5 players sent off and the game abandoned.
What was Laura going to the what was she going to the tailors for?
Tailors.
Hey,
Yeah,
tailors. Toilet.
what is that?
The bog. The piss pot.
The bog, the dunny.
The royal
Piss
throne.
out.
Oh,
Where you going
like
for piss?
to the
The
to
water
the
bottle.
bathroom.
Bathroom.
She was going to the
yeah,
bathroom. I was like, what the hell? Because when you think, okay, so when I think of Taylor, I think like when you say Taylor, I thought she was going to get something like fitted, like a dress fitted for something or whatever. I thought
She
because that's
was.
what I think when you hear of Taylor.
Well, technically she did because she fitted my anger, right?
Oh,
Because like I said, I was winning 16-0. There was only 12 minutes left to go. She could have just waited. But no. She distracted me enough to end up with 5 players sent off somehow, which means I must have, when I put the controller down, I must have put the headphones pressing the X button, so my players just going around going, "Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom." You know the old days where you used to just slide around the pitch.
yeah.
All fun, I suppose.
Man, it's crazy how like you call things differently there than we do over here. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what? What are you talking about?
Well, you see, we have a bathroom, but
Now
that's
I've heard of like when you're going to the like over there, you call the bathroom the loo or something, going to the loo or
Loo,
something
yeah.
like that.
the little boy's room, the little girl's room, depending
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Oh,
We
yeah,
call it the
yeah,
piss
yeah.
house.
yeah. I don't think.
Piss
Yeah,
guy.
I gotta go hit the head.
Now
go hit the
drop the
head.
kids off at the pool, drown the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you use the term the pissoir?
Yeah. Launch a tur-
I've never heard of
launch a
that. I've never heard of
torpedo.
that one.
Yeah. Next time, CJ, next time you go to the toilet, just say you want to go to the pissoir.
The
What is-
pissoir. I gotta go to the pissoir.
Yeah.
yeah, that is actually the French word for it.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, we use it over here.
Right.
Oh,
Over here, our bathrooms do tend to have a lavatory in, but in the olden days, they never. The lavatory, the toilet, was in the room next door,
Hmm.
in a very small room that you could just about get in.
Or outside.
All the time, it's now moved indoors or moved into the same room. Right,
Yeah,
TJ, did you let any of that touch your throat?
I think TJ actually heard a different word to the word you said.
Yeah.
yeah. It's like totally different.
Yeah, he didn't say Taylor. He said toilet.
Oh.
I'll tell you what, you go into the tailors
I
and
thought-
piss, you'll know about it.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like Taylor to me. I was like, Taylor, isn't that a place where you go get fitted for like suits and shit?
Yeah. And
Good
asking
one.
asking somebody for a score in London's a dodgy thing to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why? It's just a simple question.
No, asking someone for a score, right? You're either asking for money or drugs.
A score.
Oh,
A score is a London slang for. Is it 20 quid?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, our $20 note is called a lobster because that is the color of the $20 note.
Uh-huh.
We call it a lobster or a lobby.
Yeah.
You got a lobby.
like if you walked into
I've heard
a
that
bar and
term.
there was and if you walked into a bar and there was a game going on, just walk up to them like, hey, what's the score? They would
Well-
probably tell you.
Okay. If you walk into the bar and there's a game going on and you ask the score, yeah, your likely responses are you fucking blind? Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out.
Green. Yeah.
Because the score is
Oh,
on the
God.
screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you're watching it and like, oh,
Yeah,
That
you
must be the
distract them.
store. Oh, that's funny.
Just remembered. I've got a pile of cashew nuts in the air fryer.
Oh no. One thing I can't eat.
Oh, it turns itself off. They're just
Yeah.
in there.
What, you can't eat cashews, Dominic?
I can't eat too many of them because it causes diverticulitis.
Oh, what is that?
But if I crush them up and eat them with something, as long as they're really, I've got to put it in the Vitamizer or one of those Ninja Mix Masters or whatever to make it really tiny and then spread it over. I can. It's just that if they get stuck in my bowel.
Hey guys, I gotta get off here. I think our manager's leaving. I'll talk to y'all in the morning.
Okay.
All right. Catch you
See you
later,
then.
TJ.
Ow.
I put the stage fire up for McFly last night where
Oh, great.
they were ending the show and somehow something went wrong behind the guitarist and the stage caught fire and the drummer had to jump off and fight it and Dougie with the other guitar came running over with a bottle of water and tipped it on the electrics. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh, definitely.
Nothing beats adding a bit of water to electric.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's got many views and many likes. There's not many people realised it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I didn't realise it happened until this morning when Laura mentioned it. And I was like, I wonder if I caught it. Went on my video, I caught the whole thing from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me what to look if you want.
Shut up, Dominic.
Yep. I'm quiet.
Yeah, she said there's no one to tell to shut up, so you're gonna have to
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
if you
take the
need to
rap.
tell someone to shut up, I'm the one then.
Hi, Eddie.
There's always the chair. I mean, that chair.
Yeah, shut up, chair. You're talking too much.
I'm sorry, Paul needs to put some googly eyes on that chair. On the
Yeah.
back of that chair. Just a face of some sort.
You can tell Eddie to shut up.
Tell her to shut up.
Eddie.
No.
Nunya.
Oh. He's not here giggling, so I can't.
Okay.
No, I don't want a pair of Peppa Pig chairs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I buy raw cashew nuts and then stick them in the air fryer to roast them.
Yeah. That'd be a great thing.
That way you don't have to have salt all over them if you want them roasted.
Mark, Laura wants me to correct you. Cashew nuts are raw anyway.
Hey?
Cashew nuts are raw anyway.
Yeah, no, they are. That's why I roast them.
It's
Good
chestnuts.
idea.
It's chestnuts you're supposed to roast.
Oh, I love chestnuts over an open fire.
When you buy a packet
Especially
of
when Jack Frost is nibbling your nose.
when you buy a packet of roasted salted cashew nuts, they're too salty.
I know a
So
number of people. who
I buy
spicy.
plain raw ones. And you roast them and they go crunchy because the raw ones
Normally
are
are.
Mhm.
I think Luke, you know that truck that was crashed on the M6?
Yeah.
I think it was Luke C because he's not been on since.
I'm not even in your top list anymore.
No.
Last one.
It's because you're in Fortnite mode now, so you're going down a bit.
Go down.
4 views 44 minutes ago. That works.
So is Paul going to do a ship?
Yeah, he's going to do a ship.
Right.
Let's give it his first like. He didn't even give you a like. YouTube is well fucked.
Evening.
Did he get
Hey,
further?
Rod.
Did he get any further with his Neo? Did he manage to
Yes.
download his files?
Yes.
He got his file off, yes.
Ah, good.
Yeah, he put the video up.
We don't know how he did it. He may have just got a screwdriver and just took it out and just.
Yeah, that's probably what I reckon.
He was going absolutely nuts earlier. It was another one of them streams where you're trying to help and people are going over the top and telling him to do things that he doesn't have to do. Going into folders he doesn't have to go in. Changing settings that don't exist.
Well, I knew the damage in Daytona was bad. I didn't know it was this bad.
Oh,
It's
shit.
bad over there.
It's bad.
Yeah,
Hot Dog will know he's over there somewhere.
it's beyond bad. Let me share.
I
I
take
just-
it means your parcel didn't arrive.
I just drove it because I went down to Port Orange to fly because there's a park down there that I like to fly at, baseball fields and stuff, and almost nobody's ever there, so it's great. But it started raining, and so
All the way through.
I came back
On every
So-
song.
But you'll have to use it. 'cause you
right
haven't
here,
got the
right
Yeah.
here is a road called Nova Road.
dongle. You'll never be able to monitorize it.
And essentially from Port Orange all the way north up here to International Drive, which is in Daytona, everything east of that is underwater. All of it. It's just
Jesus.
underwater. It ain't.
What's happening with this
it-
next hurricane?
And this story gets this story gets worse.
Good.
So I came over here to US 1 in Daytona. This is Ridgewood, but it's US 1 that runs through. You'll notice there's a little town called Holly Hill up here. So Nova Road runs right here, which is that road that I was on. US 1 runs over here. Pretty much for all of Holly Hill from probably about International Drive or just north of International Drive, all the way to down here at Granada. This entire section right in here, in the middle of that is a lake.
In shortly, okay?
It's like a 1/4 mile to a 1/2 mile lake, all the way through there, right down the center of Holly Hill. It's just fucking unreal how much of Daytona area went underwater. Massive chunks. This area down here in South Daytona has always been a problem. In fact, Army Corps of Engineers is supposed to do a study to try to figure out what the hell to do with it, because that area got completely flooded during Hurricane Ian 2 years ago.
I wouldn't worry about being vegetarian.
In fact, one of the guys that was working for the city cleaning up the park where I was flying, his house went underwater 2 years ago. His house went underwater yesterday.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was quite amusing. One of the comments to Sarah's post the other day when she said, "We're all right. We've managed to get through the storm. We've got power, but we've got no internet or cell service." So somebody
Yeah.
said, "Well, how the hell did you post this then?"
That was Laura.
That was me.
Was it you? That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's still okay.
So, yeah, parts of Daytona, you need a canoe. And that's not a lie. You literally need a canoe. It's that freaking bad.
What?
Let me see if I can find the video. There's another drone guy here in Daytona. I've never actually met him, although I've chatted to him once or twice through YouTube. But he did a flight yesterday of Holly Hill, and yeah, I'll just say, yeah, it was right. It was no joke. Let me see if I can find his stinking video. How many videos? Oh, I'm on home, not on subscriptions. No wonder I'm looking through shit I don't remember. Come on, YouTube. Go to subscriptions. I know I'm running through my phone and it's a little slow, but let's see here.
You pausing?
No, I'll probably actually. No, I'll probably actually find the video.
The one is go to the video and put the locator. You can actually put the locator.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and it advertises not five because it's all their music.
Did you put it in?
Nope, they did it.
Okay. Let me share. This is pretty accurate for what Holly Hill looks like. Literally the center of it, all the way down, is nothing but a lake. I have no idea why those cars are driving through that crap.
What?
And South Daytona is worse than what you see here.
Mm.
And that goes all the way up here. That water keeps going. It is way up here too. It narrows back down and it spreads back out up there. Not good. Not good. And you'd swear the hurricane came on shore here, but it didn't.
What do you want a satellite for, Dusty? Wouldn't you be better off with a receiver?
Read what it says.
Yeah, no.
The good news is the seawalls and the coastline didn't get beat up this time, like Ian and Nicole, which took out like more than half of the seawalls in Daytona area.
Hey, Mark, this will make you laugh. Laura wanted pick a mix, right?
Oh.
But I had a packet of fruit pastels, and I looked on the back of the packet of fruit pastels. It said 430 grams, and it was quite a big packet. I was like, based on that, £3.49 for 100 grams of pick a mix. Go on then. She did 2 scoops, went to the counter, put it on. The guy was definitely riddling it. 15 quid.
Actually, did that video come through? Yesterday you guys said it was
No,
dark,
it's come up at the moment, Hot Rod.
so it didn't come through.
They
So
usually have
you did
better
one of the
sales.
drone footage of a thing, but nothing's come up through since.
In fact, they're supposed to have a set of scales next to the pick a mix.
Okay, can you see this one?
Yep.
The ocean's still a little mad at us.
Hmm. Don't piss Mother Nature off.
Yeah, so this is high tide, but it's obviously being pushed with that hurricane offshore. So
Problem?
But the good news is the seawalls are still there.
Spike bottle you made. It's tasty, isn't it? On the second time round. Just turn Laura green.
Let me see what New Smyrna looks like. Yeah, it's doing the same thing down there. Although down there, I'm surprised we don't see sharks in the video.
And it won't surprise me. She's been pink and red. I don't see why she shouldn't go green as well.
No, she made me a spike ball and we froze some of it. Well, I had it for tea tonight and I've just let one go and she was like, oh, what's weird? Spike ball she made.
So, so
Where-
Dominic, no
Oh,
offense to the
Caroline.
Aussies, but this is the shark bite capital of
Yeah,
the world.
probably.
Yeah. Okay, we've got to work harder then.
This is New Smyrna Beach.
Yeah, we've
is
got to work harder
literally-
to become number one.
Literally the shark bite capital of the world is this beach.
It's been a while since we've had a shark bite in Victoria. I know they do in Queensland, and I know they do in Darwin.
Capital of the world was Silver City, New Mexico.
So part of the reason the sharks hang out here is just north of here is where the entrance to the intercoastal comes out. So the bait fish are going between the ocean and the intercoastal. And so that's why the sharks are all hanging out there.
Right. I'm sorry, but it's not the same without Donald. When you throw in a movie quip,
Yep.
right, that there's no one there to go. That either questions why I picked Silver City, New Mexico, which doesn't have a coastline, yeah, or where that phrase came from.
Mm.
It's in Rat Race. The guy,
I haven't seen Rat Race, so
yeah, the guy needs to get to Silver City, New Mexico to win the race, and he tells the helicopter pilot that he's going to see his sister in the hospital, and she goes to him, "Oh, what's he in hospital with?" He goes, "Shark bite," and she goes, "Shark bite in New Mexico." He goes, "Yeah, it's the shark bite capital of the world."
There's probably a drink called a shark bite.
Yeah, Manchester's a snake bite capital.
Yeah, that's a drink as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But then again, I thought Manchester would be more White Lightning.
No, not in the 80s.
Hey,
Snake,
snake bite is good. Yukon Jack. Love it.
half bitter,
Good
half
stuff.
a cider over here. And then you
Anyways,
get the black velvet in Ireland, which is half a Guinness and half a cider.
like a shandy.
No, someone tried getting into my WhatsApp earlier.
Well, no, the cider's usually stronger than.
From a new phone number.
Yeah, well, we have over here what's called a pony,
Oh, more about it.
and you have a shandy in
Right.
it, which is a beer with lemonade in it.
Yeah.
Three quarters
Yeah,
beer,
about
1/4 lemonade.
Make sure
Might
no
be
one's in.
different over there, but
You can't
we
have
do
it
it
on
with
one
only
direction.
the 170 ounce, which is the
they
pony.
call that Mike's Hard Lemonade here.
Wine don't get older wine.
It has to be
Yeah.
half here.
Oh, it usually 75-25 here.
Yes, it
As I
is.
said, it might be different as I cross the border, but in Victoria we do it that way. And believe me, there are many different terminologies when you go from, say, Victoria to New South Wales. You know, pots, schooners, pints, jugs, depending on which state you're in. Everybody has a different measure.
In fact, it depends on what pump you are. But most of our pubs have pumps that are measured half pints.
Yeah. Yeah, even with
Unless-
standard weights and measures here, they
Unless
still have differences.
Yeah, unless they're cask hand pumps, in which case they can put as much beer as they want into it and then top it up with lemon.
No, we have responsible service of alcohol, and we have standard weights and measures, and they have to be the exact numbering, because if it's not the exact numbering, then you can't tell how many standard drinks you've had in terms of your inebriation, like ABV, alcohol, the alcohol volume.
Well, that doesn't matter here. You have one drink and you shouldn't be driving.
Ah, understandably, but one standard pot is 0.8 drinks.
Mm.
I don't even.
So you can only have one. You can only have one pot an hour, and still drive to be under 0.05. But at the same time, I agree with you. If you're gonna have any alcohol, don't drive. That's probably the best way to go.
Bit of a problem when you're playing Euro trucks.
The greatest part about Uber and Lyft, you don't have to drive drunk.
Mhm.
Mm.
Like that, there's a video on YouTube somewhere. I'll have to try and find it again. And there's three guys in a driverless Uber in Milton Keynes,
Hmm.
and it goes round the corner, and someone's painted red mark with red paint all over the road. So the Uber car freaks itself out and goes straight into the lamppost.
Something good.
It's good to know your driverless car is fine unless it hits the red paint, which means you'll be screwed in London with a double red lines.
Yeah, I thought it was in a bus lane.
Probably something like that. Why?
Has anybody heard from Justin at all?
Not today.
No, not since you posted yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, they're all right. Sarah just said they had no internet or cell service.
Oh God, Justin was going nuts about playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Especially if the game goes over tonight. All my favourite weapons go tonight.
Some of these guys who keep talking about this DJI security thing and the fact that, ooh, some company did an audit and the audit came clean. You need to understand something. It's not about what's fucking in the software right now. It's about what's in the software the day after we go to war.
Mm.
I don't get what you fucking idiots don't get about that part.
What's in the software the day after you go to war won't make a blind bit of difference because the war will be over.
Probably. They'll win.
The software that's in it the day after the war starts was in it the day before the war starts. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be there. They'll put it in just the day, right, 1 day before they start the war. Exactly. And it will have all kinds of bad shit in it.
Yeah.
So everything that they're doing now to audit that freaking software has got nothing to do with the price of tea in China as to what the actual real problem is. Not a damn thing.
The next
Literally
World
not
War,
a damn thing.
the next World War will last less than a day. In the amount of time it takes all the missiles to go from one point to the other and destroy everything.
Yeah, probably.
Well, everybody thinks your drones, your computers, your phones, and all that are your problem when the next World War breaks out. I say it's your TVs, right? When that
It could be that
screen-
too.
When your screen comes on and it plays that little picture that mind controls you, and then it says you must kill your leader. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody will have any problems with anything because everybody will be dead.
Not everybody. There are people that will be have safe space.
Yeah.
If you have the money and the brains, you'll be okay. Which means I'm screwed.
The whole DJI thing is a really simple concept. As long as that software is under the control of a Chinese company, it's under the control of the CCP. End of story. Which makes it 110% a freaking risk. End of story. I don't care what any of them want to talk about. Unless you actually were in the military or worked on in the NSA and worked on the CERT team, you have no freaking clue the analysis that has been done.
I agree. It could be a possible risk, but not a major risk because there's not much fucking information that it receives.
No, there's a lot, which I explained.
Yeah, but not that
So-
not that'll be of any use to them.
No, it'd be of great use, especially shit coming
It's
from the
not-
government, because
Your
it can
biggest
map
problem is
the
not-
Wi-Fi. It can map the Wi-Fi network behind the firewalls.
The biggest problem is not what the information they receive, it's the information they can send out. Yeah, they could take control
That
of your
too.
phone. They could use your drone as an access into your Wi-Fi to take over your devices, to take over your computers, to cause cyber attacks. Before you know it, boom.
And if you're a government person, you might be on the inside of the firewalls, which means it could distribute a Trojan on the inside of the firewalls. Yeah, it's a risk. Trust me. It's 100%.
This is why they keep telling police officers and secret agents not to use, and government as well, not to use a standard phone from the phone shop as your personal phone.
Hello, we were spying on Merkel. Remember that incident
Yeah.
when we were collecting shit off her phone? You don't think the U.S. doesn't spy on everybody? You got another thing coming. We spy on everybody and then some, friends and enemies alike.
Yep. Spying on me right now, you bastards.
Exactly.
I couldn't give a shit.
And it's all stored on a hard drive somewhere in Nevada because the NSA built that storage center out in Nevada.
Yeah.
So they had enough capacity to store everything they were collecting.
So that was what Bob's doing.
So it's going to be interesting when they get to my hard drive. Football, 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 cricket, football, 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 cricket, Paul Murray, football, 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 cricket, Paul Murray, Paul Murray, Paul Murray.
Yeah.
This guy's got links to America. How do you know? He's on that Paul Murray show all the time. With Agent TJ.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Just
it
don't
just
tell anybody. Just it's between us.
Exactly.
it just annoys the living bejesus out of me when it's like, oh, we're doing it through a security, and because it passed the security day today means it'll be secure tomorrow. No, it doesn't. It only means it's secure as of this split second.
As of the moment that they pass it, it's secure.
That's it. After that, all bets are off.
And this is why I keep saying to Microsoft, their policy of pushing auto updates and not telling the user to go and look at them and update them is a bad policy, because if somebody hacks into Microsoft and it's been done, they can push out a lot of shit from a lot of computers.
So
Very quick succession.
I have an answer to that.
Don't go on the internet.
No, I have an answer to that, considering I work there. One, it gets pushed internally at Microsoft first. We're always the first beta testing. Two, before it kind of goes out to the public, obviously it goes through the testing rings and the early adopters. 3, it tends to go to the corporates first so that they can put it on their SUS servers so that they can review it before they push it to their servers. And then eventually it starts
Yeah.
getting pushed out to the public. And even then, it's not pushed out to everybody at the same time. It's slow walked and
as we
it's
all
slow rolled
saw-
out. So
As we all saw the other month, one bad update can cause a hell of a problem.
Yep.
yeah, and you want to know what the problem with that one was?
Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no,
not pressed the
no.
wrong button.
They had a system so that all those companies could sort of like the Microsoft sends with Windows Update services where you have an internal where you can push it out. But those Yahoos gave themselves a bypass so that they could push directly to every end user
Yeah.
machine.
But that's the point. If one company can
So
do
they
it,
literally put their
everyone can do
own bypass in to bypass the one safety thing that actually would have stopped that from the first place and pushed it.
but that's my point. If they can do it, anyone can do it.
Agreed. I'm not saying Microsoft is perfect by any way,
I'm not.
shape, or
No,
form.
I'm not even.
But I can tell you there's a shit ton of roadblocks
There
in
is,
the
but
way,
there are-
things that, and I mean a ton, an unreal amount of
Yeah.
things that stuff goes through before it goes
My
to the
biggest
public.
issue with Microsoft is they're not understanding the user. A lot of users don't want the change. They don't want the change of layout. They want to be able to keep certain things and certain menus.
That's what third
Easier
parties
to
are
them.
for.
Yeah, but Microsoft are like forcing in changes when that means these third party stupid apps all over the place are coming up everywhere, and that they're security risk, right? Because them apps are made to
Mm, Not really,
bypass
because they're not.
certain
Not
Windows
really, because
features.
they're not. Yeah, not really, because they're not messing in core. The entire user interface is in the user layer. It's not in the core layer. So they're actually not inside. They're not inside the security core.
Getting
Those
rid of the
apps,
control panel is going to be a big mistake.
which was the problem with Yahoo's and their security.
Yeah, are they still getting rid of control panel?
Yes,
Because that's going to be a big mistake.
it's Windows settings.
Windows settings doesn't have everything there, and it's hard to
Yeah,
navigate.
well, as far as I know, 24.2, they've put everything in Windows settings. They finally moved everything else over. But you're correct. It wasn't. Now it is. So, or will be.
I'm still not adopting Windows 11. Don't like it. I'll go down fighting with Windows 10. Like a captain on his ship. Me and
Okay.
Paul Murray taking on the world. We're going nowhere. Bloop, bloop.
I didn't have any place I needed to be anyway.
Actually, your machine may not be capable of Windows 11. Depends on the TPM chip.
Mine is. I
Last,
know mine is because Microsoft keep fucking telling me.
the last time I used Windows, it was XP.
Yeah, same here.
So now we've actually done away with TPM. We actually have a newer security chip
Oh, great.
that's even tighter that will end up in all the hardware.
And that's another big mistake because when people get pissed off, they've getting told you can't have Windows 11 because of this security chip. So they all rushed out and bought new computers. And then Microsoft come along and go, by the way, now you need to have this one. That's when people say, enough with Windows, we're off.
No, they're still supporting the TPM version 2.
Yeah, but for how long?
It'll be a long time before we swap over to the new one fully. I can't remember what it's called right off the top of my head.
Well, if it's in my lifetime, it's not long enough.
It's kind of TPM version 3, but they didn't call it TPM. So they've hardened it. They've hardened it down even more.
At least they've gone quiet on the cloud, Windows cloud base thing for now.
Almost
Subscription
everything.
service.
Almost everything's in the cloud.
No, they were on about a subscription service. So you'd turn your computer on, but you wouldn't have Windows on your computer. You would have to have access to the internet and get it from the cloud every time you turn your computer on.
Yeah, and
This is the UK. We're not ready for that.
okay.
In fact, half the freaking world ain't ready for that.
Eventually, that will be the case.
But we're struggling with the rollout of 1 gigabyte internet. So
Yeah, but
See,
we're
here's
we're
the
up
funny
at the front of
yeah, here's the funny part about that though. When your machine's in the cloud already has that throughput. The bandwidth you actually need from the cloud to you isn't that high. That's one of the beauties of the system.
Nah, if the operating system's in the cloud, they've got far too much control over it.
yeah, you can't block adverts. You can't do nothing.
That won't necessarily be true, but I can tell you something that is true. It will be wrapped around more security than anybody in the world has with the tools.
It's bad enough now when every time I get a Windows update and they do these big updates, it says your computer will update when you next turn your computer off. I always get that message come up going, Classic Shell's not supported on Windows 10. You must remove Classic Shell. No. Never. And at one time they did try blocking Classic Shell. Start dictating what people can and can't do on the computers. That's when you get a problem. Everyone will be running back to XP. Which won't be
Just to give you an example, most corporations don't have an IDS. I'd say probably less than 50% of them have an IDS. Which, by the way, stands for Intruder Detection System. It's special software. We had it in the military in the late 90s. So all that crap in the cloud has live AI IDS wrapped around it all. You know, we actually defeated a 2 terabyte DDoS attack on one of the servers in the
There
cloud.
was so many office computers still running Windows XP. And Windows 8.
I think if they move all of Windows operating procedures into the cloud, it will create such a massive overflow.
It will be the same effect what they
Because-
had the other week. One bad update and no one's getting online. You're all getting the day off.
Yeah, but everybody is accessing the
Off from
cloud.
people at Microsoft.
Everybody is going to be accessing the cloud at the same time if the operating system is in the cloud. Whereas
I think
if the operating system is on your computer, you're only accessing your own computer.
So probably what's going to happen, because it's already happened in the corporate world with this stuff, is, and with the enterprise licenses, is they have the ability to have both a machine local and their cloud hosted machine. And the deal with the cloud hosted machine is it can be locked down a hell of a lot tighter, and the security around it can be a hell of a lot tighter, so that you can actually essentially run your super secure shit there and your Office and Excel local for crap you don't care about. And I think that ultimately that sort of thing will come down to the consumer, where you'll have both your local PC and the ability to run sort of your virtual PC up in the cloud. Now, what would you want to run on that thing? I can tell you exactly what you would want to run on that thing, because it's the very thing I tell people not to put on their phone, your bank app.
But then again, there's still going to have to be an operating procedure
Yeah.
on the actual computer, or else it won't be able to connect to the cloud.
No. That's what I'm saying. This is two machines. Your local normal Windows operating system, right? And then sort of a virtual machine up in the cloud that is also yours. With the one in the cloud being your more secure environment, and the local one being, well, what it is today, as secure as it can be.
But the problem with the one in the cloud is it's only as secure as your internet connection is.
Good
It's-
point.
Only as secure as
No,
It's a
actually,
valid
it's probably more secure, because the actual sensitive data is only transferred up in the cloud. It's not necessarily transferred between your PC and that machine in the cloud.
But at some
Oh.
point, it still has to go through the internet.
Yeah, at some point it has to go
Oh,
back
of course.
between
But
your-
here's the other part. In the cloud, there are freaking a gazillion monitoring devices monitoring all that network traffic, which is not going on locally. So that traffic is way more secure in the cloud than it ever is going across your local network.
It
End of
is,
story.
but what I'm saying is, when I'm doing something on my local machine here, say my medical records, the
Sure.
moment I send that to the cloud through whatever Windows thing, with my internet provider, if they're not up to date on their own end, right? Doesn't matter what Microsoft have on monitoring their systems. If it's not monitoring my internet systems, my data is still at risk.
So part of the
At that
solution
point.
to that is already exists today, partially. And that is, everybody has a Google Drive, everybody has a OneDrive, and your documents are actually
Well, everybody has a OneDrive.
saved and
Has a
stored
Google
up
Drive.
there.
Oh, good
Stored
old
and
cloud.
saved up there.
Yeah, but putting everything in one place makes it more
Yep.
vulnerable.
It's a recipe for the disaster.
Yes.
Yeah, but here,
Multiple
let me
backups.
let me tell you something. You know how many copies of everything there is in OneDrive at a minimum?
Yeah, but how far apart
Three.
are they?
Three.
Yeah, how far apart are
There's
they?
two in the data center that it's hosted in, and then there's at least one other one, probably two other ones now. So there's probably four that are in another data center in another region. We literally can stay at a nuclear explosion, dig it out one of our data centers, and still have your data and copies of your data.
Unless they hit both of
Well,
them.
there goes trying to get
Well,
rid
if they hit both of them, then we're just really,
You're
then
screwed.
we're all screwed anyway. So it won't matter.
Yeah, but
What?
if it's secure from a nuclear attack, then I'm screwed because I can't get rid of my cookies.
Yeah. But my point being, your data is backed up more than you would ever back it up locally across regions and data centers. So yeah, it's a hell of a lot safer. Oh, by the way, with versioning, because we can go back through versions of files too, because we have the file version. Remember shadow copy in Windows Server? And
Yep.
sort of think of it as an advanced shadow copy.
One of the biggest
Technology.
mistakes Microsoft hasn't ever made was when Windows 10 came out, and to get people to shift over to it, they said it's free to move over, and this is the full and final ever Windows. This will just get updated and updated and updated. And within years, they was like, nope, we've got Windows 11 now. Point. And that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah, I get it.
I can
You want
see
to know
why
what
they've
you
done
want
it.
to you want to know one of the drivers to that?
Money.
No. Not at all.
Postman Pat.
Intel and AMD.
He's
In
always
particular, actually I should say Intel and Qualcomm. Because Intel went to the same thing Qualcomm was doing, which is big cores, little cores. So they had to rewrite the thread scheduling engine. So in order to make that radical of a change that deep in the core, that was one of the reasons it drove them to Windows 11, is
Yeah,
because
but
of
one
the
of the other
physical
th-
hardware changes that were being made.
Yeah. One of the big issues I don't want with my computer is AI embedded into my Windows. I don't want no AI telling me, oh, you could do this better doing it this way. No, I do it the way I know, and the way I do it, and the way I get the results, and leave
I
it
got
at that.
news for you. Google, Facebook, all those freaking websites that you're going to be using are all going to have AI embedded right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
if
they've
you
all
look,
got
if you look
AI
on some of the
embedded.
Facebook
they're
comments,
not
it's got a Meta
invasive.
AI description on it too.
Yeah, but
So
it's
you
not as
might as well.
invasive.
All I could say is you could hate it all you want, but get used to it. It's coming.
Yeah, Facebook's already announced that it's going to be.
Yeah.
AI's already in
Yeah,
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah, there'll be a little tag. It'll say Meta AI, and it has a discussion of all the comments that have been made.
Yeah.
So
AI's already in Facebook. I get the notifications all the time, right? But that's the difference. I get a choice whether I want to use that, right? When it's embedded
you
into
do
the
in
operating
Windows. You
system,
do in Windows too. AI
No,
is
it's
in
embedded
Office
in
and it
there.
give you suggestions. You don't have to take the suggestions.
once it's sat there and it's telling me what to do, that's when I'll be getting pissed off.
You know, in a lot of cases, when people were looking to figure out how to do something, Paul, as an example, a really nice step-by-step guide is kind of useful for folks like those.
Yeah, I
So-
can see Paul. I can see Paul.
I'm glad you brought up. Have you ever heard of a file on a computer as a DCMI file?
Photograph.
Yes.
Because
That's-
that was my problem with getting those videos from my Neo off. It was in a DCMI file. and
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
only
newer
using-
file. It's a newer file format, and I forget what
Well,
they do.
It's,
Well,
a
it's not
it's
newer,
a
it's
DCMI folder.
Yes, it's a folder and it's been there for
All that. Yeah,
Yes.
the folder's
Yeah.
been there.
it's
Yeah.
been there for decades. The only
Oh,
difference
it's a
is
digital something image.
yeah,
Did they change the format from
no.
JPEG?
Oh, that's a new that's been going on for quite a while now.
DNG as well.
Well, DNG is just a raw file.
A
Yeah, but
DNG,
now-
and then you can also do PNG, which is a better compression ratio than the
Yeah, but
JPEGs.
now they've got this high definition one. They've got
Yeah, and there's
Yeah,
to, phones
there's a
and
bunch of
stuff.
newer ones.
But no, the DCMI has always been the folder that digital cameras save the photographs in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in there. But like Paul, when I saw one with Paul's, when he was plugging it in, it was instantly loading up Microsoft Photos. Yeah, Microsoft Photos does not handle videos. It's in the name, Photos. So that software could not pick up his video. But
Kind of
it's-
funny.
it's
I play my
obviously-
videos in the photo app because I actually like it better in the photo app.
I've still got
Digital
Windows
camera.
Media
DCIM is digital camera images,
Player. Yeah.
and the CM is camera. I just looked it up for you.
Well,
Mm.
I still use Windows Media Player.
I like that one sometimes too.
Good.
Hi, Lance.
Hi, Lance.
Evening, Lance. Yeah, when they try getting rid of Windows Media Player.
What's Lance doing on? It's pizza night.
Yeah. He's probably eating while
Waiting
he's
for his
chatting.
pizza.
He's asking Paul, did he get what's it? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
You
How
got to
did you do it?
remember, it's 3:15 out there, Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could
and
be
the next
after
question
he.
is, Paul, how did
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
it?
yeah.
He's still at
He's
school.
probably going
Yeah,
to the pizza shop at the moment.
and he'll still be at work.
Paul, how did you do it?
How'd I do what?
Get the video off in the end.
Well, in the
Tomorrow in Port Huron, you'll see mostly sunny weather.
instead it
You can
had,
expect a high of 61
it was in
degrees Fahrenheit and a low
DCMI
of
file.
47 degrees.
and
Yeah.
I didn't have a DCMI file. I searched all through all of my files. I had no DCMI file. So
Yeah,
then I
it's
went
not-
and found the DCMI file by itself, clicked on it, and there they were.
Yeah, it's a DCMI folder. So
Yep.
when
Yeah.
you're
Folder.
searching for a file, it won't find it because it's the name of a folder.
Okay.
Because
So,
in that folder, the first few digits, the first few characters are going to be identical, and then it'll have a number after it.
okay. So this is the point I was making earlier. When you try to help Paul and everyone shouts over the top and starts telling him to go into things he doesn't need to go in and searching things and change settings and delete this and add that and yeah, it gets insane. And I told him he needs to find the folders. Once you find the folders, you find your files. Simple.
Yeah, but he didn't know what
Glad
the
he's done
folders
it.
were called.
Well, he's found it. So
Yeah, okay.
Mm.
if we'd have got into that section, that's where we was trying to lead him to.
That folder is in
got
the
that.
root of whatever drive letter is your SD
Mm.
card, Paul.
Oh, we couldn't get him to find my PC. Never mind anything else.
Yes.
Yeah, I surprised myself. After 15 years of not using a Windows computer, I could still remember
Mhm.
the
Yes, I
Windows
will, for
shortcut
sure.
to get into Explorer.
You bet. Bye-bye.
I was just about to mute Paul then because he was on the phone.
It'd be interesting to see what the DOJ does with Google.
Hmm.
I don't think it'd be. I don't think they'll actually split them up. They did split Microsoft up, and they had a pretty serious case. They could have done that back then too. But it'd be interesting to see what the remedies are.
Well, this goes to show how good Facebook's new AI is because it's supposed to root out all the dodgy marketplace items.
Yeah.
And
don't.
someone's selling a knife. It says murder weapon only used once. Yeah. How did that get on there?
The same
Uh,
way that the same motorhome was being sold by 8 different people in 8 different cities across the UK.
hmm.
That happens quite a lot, especially with computers.
Mm.
I love the ones where you go online and it goes, gaming PC for sale. Only had it 2 years, bought it brand new. It's great, but it's been collecting dust for a year. And then you look at it, it's got DVD drives and a floppy drive, floppy disk.
Mm.
How long you had it?
Mm. Yeah, my 2 Windows PCs that are upstairs have both got zip drives, never mind bloody floppies.
What?
Hey, those
I
zip
think
drives,
if I look
those
around the
zip
house,
drives
I
were
might
great
find a
back in the
stray
day when they
zip
came out
drive
with them.
there.
Zip drives were brilliant.
I
Yeah,
know.
the zip drives were
love them.
great. The first real external drives we had.
Yeah.
Here's the
No, mine
issue.
was an internal.
I had an internal, but I also had a portable one too.
Yeah, I had a portable one as well. I think I've still got two.
I think if I looked around the house, I'd probably find one.
Yeah. And the Jazz Drive.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
Jack
I
Drive
had one
came
of
out
those
for
too.
the gigabyte.
There he
Yeah,
is.
Donald.
Yes, finally Donald joins us.
I was gonna say zip drives were 100 megabytes and the Jazz were 1 gigabyte, right?
Yeah.
Yep, they were wonderful. I had one, and we used it for transferring videos. We had one in each of our head ends. Whenever a commercial would be encoded, it would be put on that, then taken out.
Yeah.
Driven before we had high-speed data, you'd have to drive it out to the different towns, put it on the cable head end to where it would load. The machines could load it
Yeah.
locally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let
love
me show you one that I have.
back today.
I have two of them that I highly suggest keep an eye on Amazon and buy one when it's on sale.
Mm.
So these little Buffalo drives, you go, hey, they're a flash drive, right? 'Cause it's an actual SSD drive
Oh, okay. Where's this music
on
coming
the
from?
card.
I don't know.
Oh, that's me. That's probably me because I'm playing Armin van Buuren in the background.
I'm gonna say, where's that music
So
coming
you're
from?
You're hearing me. Anyway, so these Buffalo drives are freaking, god damn, are they fast? It ain't like a normal flash drive. This sucker is bloody hell fast. It will run that USB to its max. Guaranteed. Pushing
Now,
data.
can that USB
In
drive
and
can
out.
it kill audio?
Hot rod. Two things. One, you can't see anything because it's all gobbledygook. And when you next share a website, click undershare sound. Then we don't get your game in the background.
I click both buttons.
Yeah, but
I
if
don't
you
know what
click,
we
if you
had
click
the
sound, then you're sharing sound. You want to make sure you're not sharing sound.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
your
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Or
your
stop my
website then
background
you were
music.
sharing was all pixelated.
Really? Yeah, I'm not surprised because I'm running off my phone.
Mm.
Yeah, let's try it again. I stopped the streaming. That'll probably help. I'm not using as much bandwidth.
There you go. I can't even see what the hell that is. See, it's a drive.
You see the drive?
Yeah. You can't see all the writing
So-
down the sides.
Yeah. I have a
Nice.
49-inch monitor. I'm not surprised. It's
Well, there you
tiny.
go.
on
I
your
can see it
side.
now.
Is it a USB flash drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, Buffalo external SSD 1 TB.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got a 2 terabyte flash drive.
Yeah, they have a two. They have a two as well, but it's not flash. That's the difference. It's not flash. It's an
Yeah.
SSD.
All right, rather than TF.
Yeah, the storage. This storage is bloody hell fast.
But that drive and your flash drive both have the same flaw. Unlike a spin
Oh.
drive, it has a write head,
Mm.
a write history lifetime. And the fuller that drive gets, the faster you kill the drive.
By the way, do you not think that drives with a spindle fail?
Well, of course, they fail.
You know they have
Point is-
they've had mean time between failure
Yeah, but
as
the
a
difference
stat
is with a
forever.
spin drive,
I've had
you get
so
a
many
warning
hard drives
that it's
fail.
going to fail.
Mm.
With an SSD, when it fails, it just fails. That's it. It's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a
Unless
bag
you know
of-
what you're doing and you're
Like you
checking
should
your
have done.
drives.
JDS.
I've got a bag of
Oh.
good hard drives upstairs.
I highly recommend that anyone that uses SSD gets the software that comes with them and uses it to check the drive every so often, because otherwise you could be in for a shock when it just suddenly goes, nah.
Buy them
Windows
in
actually
pairs.
Windows checks for you too, by the way.
Buy them in pairs and mirror them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy them in quadruples.
So anyways, that is, if you want portable storage for your pocket, that's not a flash drive, but works like a flash drive and is about 10 times faster. One of those. Super duper great. Love that thing.
Since fucking Google put AI in the fucking Chrome,
Hey, JDS.
shit. You're loading a web page.
If you want something a bit different, although obviously you've seen the Western Digital and the Seagate one, but Samsung has this one that is freaking blazing fast too. And that's because it's SSD, it's not a spinning drive. But they have one called T9 and one called the
Is she
T7.
trying to make you walk all by yourself? Oh.
These drives are just like that Buffalo. Bloody hell fast. So if you're looking for fast external storage, there you go. I kind of prefer the Buffalo. It's smaller. Doesn't require a cable. The Samsung requires the cable to plug it in with USB. Not that that's a big deal. Whatever.
Yeah, but does it only work on USB 3 or does it still work on USB 2 as well?
It would work on 2 with an adapter.
I have a Samsung T7 that does
Yeah, the
USB
T7 is
3.
great.
I use it. It does a C and it does a 3 and 2. Sorry, I'm in the middle of doing something.
Yeah. You can put an adapter on any of those USBs to go back and forth. So
Well, when I got the T7, it came with 2 cables, one for
yeah, it
USB
came with
3
one for
and
each.
2.
Yeah.
And I liked it because I can hook it directly up to my iPad, use it for editing on my iPad as external storage on my iPad.
No. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to show. There you go. So that is a USB-C to USB A type connector. I keep them around just in case.
Lance says the 2 terabyte when he got it was 90, but it's up to 140 now. And he's put a link in.
But anyways, there you go. Some storage stuff. It makes you wonder why DJI just doesn't give us 1 terabyte internal SSD on the drones for storage instead of 8 gigs.
I can't find it. I've got a little thumb drive that the same thumb drive has the 3 and the 2 socket.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
spin-
One on each end. Yeah.
Yep.
I got one of those somewhere.
I like keeping it for people who do not have USB 3, and it makes it a lot easier to transfer files to different people.
Yeah, no, agreed.
I didn't know there was actually a difference between the sockets. I thought they were just both USB-A.
Nope. Different pinouts, different power.
Yep, 3 you can put in upside down, upside right. There's no upside down on
Well,
USB
that
3.
depends. The USB-C 3,
USB
you can.
yeah.
The little
Right.
blue one is like the USB-A, but it's got extra pins.
Right. And that's what I've got. I've got the 3 and the C connector and the
because you can plug that 3 into a 2. So really, you're compatible with anything old and new.
and that's what makes it convenient for the iPad is because you can plug it directly into the iPad.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
It's still a flash drive and not terribly fast, but it works.
Well, that's what I
It's
said.
what it is, right?
For transferring small files, I keep the T7. That's fast.
Yeah, the T7 is super fast. Obviously, put the right
So-
adapter on it.
Yeah, well, plugging directly into the iPad,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. and it's
Yeah, because that's
big
Thunder.
connector.
That's Thunderport 3 or 4.
Yeah, and so it works plenty good. All right.
Got 2 Thunderbolt ports on it.
Okay, Amazon. Oh, they moved one of my shipments to the 13th. Another one is supposed to show up today. Ain't gonna show up today. It's still sitting in Jacksonville.
Well,
I think they held everything. I think they held everything that was going to Daytona up in Jacksonville. Actually, yeah, as of 5:12 p.m., a little over an hour ago, it left Jacksonville to come to Daytona. So I guess that means I'll get it tomorrow.
okay.
I don't remember where the warehouse is down here in Daytona. It's close, right off 95 somewhere.
If anybody else wants to be jealous, I'm having BLTs with avocado tonight.
Yes.
Well, I had some of the rest
I
of
would have
my,
added an egg to it, but that's me.
I had the rest of my lamb joint that I cooked yesterday
What would you add to it,
on a French stick.
Dominic?
I'd add an egg to it
Oh,
because bacon and eggs are just the two most iconic duos in history.
Okay, I really wonder where the hell this package is. It left Jacksonville on Monday at 12:27 a.m. Didn't make it to Daytona. I wonder where the hell the thing went. Maybe the truck got in an accident. I don't know. All it says is your delivery's already late.
Yeah, it's floating.
it's running late, not floating late.
Yeah. I really want this one because I got 4 1050 6S batteries coming.
Mm. Well, Paul,
Which are
seeing
gonna
how
be
you've now got your getting your videos off the Neo sussed, have you been and done any more with it?
One step at a time, Mark.
Yeah.
Paul, you're muted.
No, I haven't done anything more with it. I'm just charging batteries and getting it ready. And now that I feel halfway comfortable, I'm still not 100% comfortable. It flew
But you figured
fine,
to
but
get-
it just
This is the
The
step.
editing
These are the
part.
steps you have to do, Paul. Take your time.
Mm.
Just slowly. You've learned a bit today. Learn a
Yeah.
bit tomorrow. Bit next day, and eventually you'll get comfortable with it. Don't rush. Don't think it's just going to fall into place in 30 seconds because it won't.
yeah, because I'm so set in my ways as to how I edit and everything my videos, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
David, that's the exact same. My advice I give people when I start trying to get them hooked on heroin, you know, do a little bit today, do a little more tomorrow.
so I don't know how many of you have those shocks.
Be right back.
Bone transfer headphones.
Development transfer.
No, I haven't used one
Yeah.
of that.
But if you ever get it, it has its own special dumb connector that comes with it to power the thing.
And that's the same as some of the hearing aids they give to profound deaf.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Stick it on the head.
on Amazon, I found that they actually have an adapter that you can plug on a USB-C and then plug into one of those shocks headphones.
That's like
So
the,
if you get one, keep in mind that they make these adapters. That way you don't have to keep have to buy like 2 or 3 of their custom freaking cables.
Like stupid, kind of like the Fitbit adapters, chargers that are stupid
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah.
That you only use a Fitbit adapter. You can't. There's nothing else like it. So
Hmm.
So anyways, if you happen to get one of those, they make adapters that you can buy, and so you don't have to buy their dumb cables and keep track of the cables.
It's only as bad as Apple using the Lightning.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm glad the Europeans finally forced them to change their minds.
one good thing the Europeans have done.
I don't know. They did GDPR too, so
Yeah.
which forced all
Yeah.
the privacy rules.
And we did bring everybody the Lamborghini, the Ferrari, the Bugatti.
Yeah, I don't care about those. Yo,
Oh,
also gave
a couple of those are Italian, so that's my heritage in there.
Mm,
So
that's
speaking
they're
of
they're all Italian.
speaking of a company we were talking about
Original.
earlier, let me share a story about Facebook.
Yeah,
This says a lot. This says a lot about their corporate culture, by the way.
Just before you do, Rod, I just want to get a joke in here before you move on. Right, Mark, we
Uh-huh.
may have given the world all of these items, yeah, but we are paying the price now for giving the world the Americans. They're never going to forgive us. You're going to have to get
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah, that's probably true. You're
I
probably
wouldn't blame
true.
the Romans. I mean, what have the Romans ever done?
What have the Romans ever done for us?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I suppose that's
At least
true.
they built roads in a straight line and we out pothole.
At least
Hey.
I got a movie reference in there.
you know, giving the world the Americans isn't the worst thing you've ever done. You also gave us the Nazis.
Uh-oh.
You also
We
gave
got
us the Aussies.
Oh,
Nazis,
no,
I think he said. We're going down that
It's
route.
not that we gave you
the
the
Nat
Aussies,
Krauts.
we just allowed the Aussies out.
I don't know if you allowed them
Yeah,
out.
but
You kind of kicked them out.
No,
Yeah.
we made Australia into our prison, didn't we?
Yes, you did. It's not like
Yeah.
they had much of a choice.
And that's what I mean. And then we took the walls down and said, "Oh, you're free to go."
So anyways, back to what I was going to say. This goes back to the GDPR thing.
Mention her.
When the GDPR came out, Facebook, in their infinite wisdom and we want to keep your data, moved all their servers out of Europe into Africa so that they could ignore the GDPR. So if you wonder about them being a little slimy about collecting your data, that story should sort of tell you what their philosophy is about hanging on to your data.
Mm-hmm.
No, they didn't want to work with that. They wanted to work around it. That's kind of scary.
Mm.
Well, Yep.
Well, Google's motto used to be their corporate motto was don't do evil.
Mhm.
And then they did.
Oh, Ben,
So,
that's not bad.
Mhm.
That's bad. Mush. How have you guys done to that purge?
So the question is, Paul, what are you going to use the Neo
What
for?
do you keep landing on that if I were you?
Take videos of what?
That's a good question.
Hmm.
After I
As
bought
light
it,
as it is,
I'm
I'm not
thinking,
sure I'd
what
put
the
it
hell
out.
am I doing? You know, because I can't get around like I used to. You know.
No, it's useful for stuff close in for you. Although I think a Mini 3 or Mini 4 would
I'd go Mini 4
be
because
better off.
it's got way more,
I
way more
love my
features.
Air 2S.
He's had a Mini 3 Pro already.
I had a Mini 3 Pro. I didn't like it as well as the Air 2S because it
Stop and
doesn't
get
have the
lettuce
same
and avocado tomato anyway.
steam against the wind.
I
The
just
Air
sent her.
2S really
message.
handles the wind.
Yeah. You need
Yeah.
something that handles the wind, especially if you're in a
Because I'm
port or
down on the
something like
water
that.
and
You
the
get
wind
that.
comes right
you get
underneath
the
the
wind,
bridges.
yeah.
And
Yeah, Mavic 3 would be better then because that handles the wind even better.
Yeah, exactly.
He's lost 2 Air 2Ss.
Okay.
Mavic
Or
Mavic
maybe
3
even
Pro's a lot
maybe
heavier,
3
so it
now.
can
The
handle
Mavic
the wind
3 is
better.
a lot more expensive to lose.
Good boy.
Yeah, and yes, you've got a
Alright.
good point there too. That's also valid.
So I guess Paul should just keep buying refurbed as long as he can.
Come on.
Nothing
It's
wrong
already-
with that.
He's already got a spare Air 2S on the
yeah, I got a
Yeah.
spare one.
Play out tomorrow.
Yeah, nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
you-
wrong with
you
that.
gotta fly what you're comfortable with, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most certainly.
the Air 2S produces a good. The Air 2S produces a damn good video. So
Yes.
nothing wrong with that. You don't need. You absolutely don't need these newer cameras. The quality difference is minor at best for the most part.
I mean, our difference is that the sub 250 gram drones can be flown in a lot more places.
Yeah.
It
Those
makes a big deal
250 gram-
outside the US. Inside the US, it's not nearly as big a deal.
Yeah, because it's the only advantage you have with a sub 250 is you don't register it.
Over here we have to.
Nor require
do.
remote ID.
No,
That's
I
it.
mean America don't. We do.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
registration, no
We have to
remote
register
ID.
everything that's over 100 grams.
I think we need to adopt Canada's rules for the
Now,
sub
we have
250.
we have to include everything that has a camera.
Okay.
Camera, it's
Everything. It's
so
for us. It's everything over 100 grams.
Well, you do have to register if you are Part 107. You do have to register.
Yes, that's
yeah.
true.
Over here we have to have a public liability insurance if you wish to fly for the furtherance of a business.
but we don't actually register the drones. We just get an operator ID, and that is what we put on every drone. We don't need to tell them.
We do
which
that in
drones
addition.
we've-
No,
we
we
don't
have-
need to tell them which drones we've got. We just need to identify them
Yeah.
on the drone themselves.
We just have
Yeah.
to
You have
pitch
to,
in $15 for every drone.
you have to understand
Also-
what the FAA is trying to accomplish. And they've been trying to accomplish it for the big planes for a long time, and they've been working on the software, but they're trying to create a UTM, a Universal Traffic Management System,
I've got
where
that over here.
everything that's in the air can understand where everything else is in the air so that they don't collide. That's
Yep.
remote ID is just the beginnings of doing that. It's really not really much different than the whole ADSB. I don't know why they didn't just use ADSB and go, hey, just put ADSB on all these damn things, because you already have it on the plane, on the Cessnas and all that crap. So
Well, you've already got a receiver built into quite a lot of the drones anyway.
that was that thing with the accident between the helicopter and the drone here in Daytona. The guy never saw him because the helicopter didn't have ADSB, and it really makes you wonder why the hell is if I have to put a freaking remote ID device on a damn drone, then that fucking helicopter should have ADSB on it. I don't care what it costs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End of story, right? There should be an option. but there is for helicopters. It's an option.
There is for planes too. Light
Yeah.
aircraft don't have to have it.
It
Yeah.
shouldn't be optional. End of story. That way the drone guys can see the planes.
Yeah.
They really want to make things safe. Okay, let's do the right things.
That's it.
I get where remote ID is going, but that's so far out. Why can't you have done something that works now instead of later?
Yeah, we're trying to make it that safe that our drone will recognize the fact that there is an airliner going at 20,000 feet up in the air across the path of the drone.
I hate that. I hate that with
Makes
DJI. With
absolutely
the
no difference to the drone whatsoever.
Exactly.
And yet, stuff that's flying under 400 feet where it isn't supposed to be just causes
yeah, like
more and more
helicopters.
problems by not being identifiable.
Police helicopters, ambulance helicopters, and they need to be in that airspace. I got nothing wrong with them being there.
True, yeah,
It just
they-
if I'm a drone operator, it'd be nice if the guy was broadcasting something so I knew he was coming. Then I could get out of his way.
Yeah.
I got no problem getting out of his way, but give me a way. The guy in Daytona, where he was at, was at I-4 and 95, the intersection, at a construction site. His chances of hearing that freaking helicopter were zero until that thing was over his head because of the ambient noise going on around him. The FAA creates these stupid rules thinking you're out in the middle of a field and nothing and you can hear for miles. That's not always the case. I don't.
Yeah.
And the even worse part about that one, which really irritates the shit out of me, is that guy did his whole Lank approval thing. How the freaking ATC tower that was a quarter of a mile away from where that guy was flying his damn drone, the freaking ATC could have put their binoculars out and see the drone in there. Why the hell did they route that helicopter through there? Probably because they didn't actually know the Lank thing never showed up in the tower. Or they're just not using it, which makes you wonder what the whole point of Lank if they're not actually using it in the fucking tower. That's the part that really kind of irritated me about that whole situation. It's like they're going to blame the drone guy, but it's like the entire system failed here, guys. Utterly failed.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, they're from where that guy was, the airport's quarter of a mile, third of a mile away. And the tower actually is on that side of the runway. So the towers actually would have been closer to where the guy was flying the drone. So how the hell they routed that helicopter through that area, or didn't at least tell the helicopter guy, hey, there's a drone over in that area? Something massively went wrong with the process. And to expect the drone guy at a construction site next to two major highways to hear anything is ludicrous. Even a visual observer still wouldn't heard that fucking helicopter until it was on him. And you don't always have that kind of line of sight because there's trees on the east side, which is where he was coming from. So by the time he would have got over top of the trees for anybody to actually see him, it was 2 seconds from 1 or 2 seconds colliding with the drone. How far are you going to move around in 1 or 2 seconds? Hell, it's going to take you 2 seconds just to react. At that point, it's too late. So there's just some things about their expectations that are just not quite right. The system failed. Literally, the system failed. Because no visual observer would have helped that guy. Not in that, not in that situation. Because the helicopter was at 180 feet and the trees are about 90 feet tall, just to the east of there. So how soon do you think they would have seen that thing? It already would have been damn near on top of them by the time it come out from over top of the trees.
Well, what do you think that they're going to get to a point where, you're going to carry an FM radio on the FAA frequency where you're going to have to announce your intent when you take off in busy areas?
No, they won't do that.
Nah, they don't want that much radio traffic.
No.
They already have enough problem with idiot Cessna pilots who can't really do radio calls quite right. So they don't need a bunch of drone guys doing it who know even less about the speed. Simply putting ASB on everything in the air and requiring drones to have an ADSB receiver so that they could see them
And that includes hang
would
gliders.
go a
and-
massive long. Yeah, exactly. Everything. Freaking everything.
Yep.
I mean, ultimately, that's what they want anyways, because they want UTM. That means everything in the air has got to have some sort of broadcast so that everything else in the air knows it's there.
Mhm.
I don't know what the point of the night lights is. If we all had ADSB, you'd know exactly what altitude and what direction that guy was flying so that you could avoid him. Don't need to see him in the first place. You'd know 5 miles away where he was.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Okay, chaps, I gotta drop out. So I'll see you
Okay, sorry, Dominic.
on. I'll see you on
Dominic,
Arts.
where are
if
you
wanna
headed? You
watch.
going to work with your brother or what?
No, going to
Arts on
stream
in
with
a minute.
Art.
Oh, okay.
So I'll see you guys if you want to
All right.
watch.
later, Dominic.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Anyways, I'm waiting to hear about the FAA report on that incident here in Daytona. Because there's a lot of
You could probably wait a long
screwy
time for
things.
that.
It might take them a year. Probably.
Normally 2-3 years.
Everything else. Oh.
What's that temperature drop to now?
It's dropped to fucking cold.
And what do you think what do you think the odds are that helicopter prop blade that it hit square on the prop blade? The percentage chance of that has got to be freaking
It wouldn't have
minute.
done any damage to the prop blade. The prop blade would have just slashed straight
No,
through
no,
it.
no, 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 no. It took a chunk out of that prop. It literally took a chunk out of that prop. Yeah, they said it was 60,000 in damage.
A little piece of plastic.
Yep. Yep.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
It's the speed
Yep.
at which that
The impact.
Yeah, it's the speed at which he hit. It's the speed that he hit it. Yeah, the impact speed.
Well, it's not. It's the speed that the helicopter's rotors were going round at, not the speed that the
Yeah,
drone
that
was
too.
going at.
True.
We are 5 degrees, feels like 3. And it's going to get down to 1.
Okay. Well, there's the helicopter. There's the one with the blade. Okay, I gotta find another news article. I know I saw one of them with a picture. Ah, here it is. Yeah. Make that picture bigger. Yeah. Oh, come on. Okay, I guess I'll make it bigger this way. Okay, let me share. Yeah. So on the left is the helicopter. On the right is the prop, or the blade. So yeah, it did a decent. It did a decent job on that blade. Check. It was a Mavic 3E. not any different from Mavic 3 Pro, but I'd be just think about that. Think about how thin that freaking blade is and how short the drone is. What do you think of the odds that they're at the exact same altitude?
Mm.
That has to be freaking minute. I would have thought you'd have hit the bubble on the front of the helicopter before you'd ever hit the blade on the prop,
Yeah.
let alone the prop wars potentially pushing the drone in the first place to push it out of its way. I don't
Mhm.
know. Like I said, it'll be interesting when that report comes out, what the findings are and
Corey,
what the
Michael.
what the
Hey,
corrections
Corey,
they might implement to the system,
cool cat.
if any. Or if they're just going to throw up their hands and go, nope, drone guy's fault. We had rules in place and change absolutely nothing.
Mm.
I mean, theoretically, that's what Boeing could do to the FAA over the whole 737 MAX crap. You guys certified it, so ultimately responsibility goes back to you guys. You validated our testing and processes and training processes.
Well, it's starting to get dark here.
Yeah, same here.
Well, it's definitely dark here.
Just a bit.
So again, Mark, the math guy, what do you think the odds of hitting that rotor head on?
Probably better than you think.
Well,
Yeah,
considering it's only supposed to be up to 400 feet,
happened
and
at
it's
180 feet in the air.
and it's what, say 4 inches tall.
The prop? Yeah, that's probably close.
No,
The drone?
the Mavic 3. Yeah,
Uh,
kind of 3 or 4 inches tall.
yeah, even if you called it 5,
Yeah.
round it off.
So 3 of them to a foot times 400. That's
Times
1,200 of them.
180.
1,200 of them can sit one on top of the other.
So 1 in 1,200?
No, a lot more than that,
Yeah,
because
you're proving.
obviously they can overlap.
Yeah, you're proving my point. You're proving my point, though. The odds are
Yeah,
freaking
aye.
small.
Mm.
That those two could be at the exact same height.
Mm. And it's not just the exact same height; it's the exact same path.
Mm-hmm.
All it needed to be was 6 feet to one side, and it would have missed the rotor.
Mm-hmm. Or 4 inches lower.
Yeah.
Or 4 inches higher. Like I said,
Still a possibility if it's within the actual swept path that it could have been sucked into it.
wouldn't you think
Especially
it would
above it.
have?
If it's below it, then it's getting pushed away, so it shouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Below it, it would get pushed away from the prop.
Mm.
The lift off the prop pushing it. So, which means it probably came in dead on, which is like,
Yeah.
the odds of that are just like, oh my God, pretty small. But it
Mhm.
happened.
Actually, very high, not small.
You know, even if you're
Mhm.
nice and you go 1 in 1,000 chance, Jesus, that's still not much.
Mm.
Anyways, we'll see what the FAA says when they finally release their report on that thing.
Mm.
I'm sure they're just going to blame the drone guy and go, we don't need to make any rule changes and leave it at that.
They can't blame.
So blame
If they
the
do
drone
it
guy
pro-
for
if they
making
do it
more drone
properly.
changes.
If they do it properly, they can't blame the drone guy because he went through all the correct procedures and was within the limits of what his flight path was supposed to be.
Yep. And
So
in conditions that made it difficult
Yeah,
to
he did
hear
absolutely.
that helicopter. Actually, here, let me share again since I got the map up.
I don't care whether they're police helicopters or helicopter ambulances or anything like that. Them taking off and going up to 400 feet before they move forward shouldn't make an ounce of difference to their flight.
In this case, it was a tourist helicopter coming back. So the
Even worse,
incident
until it
occurred.
reached the airport, it should have been at 400 feet.
Yeah, well, it wasn't going to the airport. So the building that was being worked on was right here where my mouse is, just right off of 95 and I-4, literally right here at this corner. They were building a new warehouse. So that's what he was flying.
Mm.
There's a flea market where the tourist helicopter lands right over here. So that's why the helicopter was pretty low, because he was coming in for a landing on this side. The freaking tower for the airport is like right here.
Well, they should do landings the same way as the drone does a return to home. It flies in at 400 feet and then it drops vertically.
Drops vertical down. Yeah. Again, how did ATC not know the drone guy was there? If he filled out his link and he did his link and he had his approvals and he had to get extra special approvals because that's a 0 height distance because of where it is to the airport. So
Well,
how did ATC, how
on his
did the
approval-
ATC guys
on
not know he was
approval-
there?
On his approval, it should have had written on it that there was a helicopter doing tourist flights in the area.
No idea what they would come back. Again, this is where I'm curious what sort of systematic changes the FAA might come back with for improvements so that
Mm.
this doesn't happen again, because that's what they're supposed to do in all airplane incidents.
Yeah.
They're supposed to come back with suggestions for how do we change the system? Is there something we can change in the system to make sure that this doesn't happen again or reduce the odds significantly? One of those is the helicopter should have had ADS-B on it. The guy would have known he was there,
Mhm.
regardless of the noise around him, regardless of the trees just to the north of him that he couldn't see.
Mhm.
So, anyways, that's why I'm curious. Because I know they're probably just going to want to go, okay, it was a drone guy's fault because he's supposed to get out of the way. I get that, but what if there are circumstances that make that kind of hard?
Yeah. I mean, they got to remember that he can only get out of the way at his maximum ascent and descent speed, which is what, 6 meters a second.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you got to be able to spot the guy, because it's going to take him 2 seconds just to get the drone moving. By the time he recognizes it hits the throttle to start moving, and a helicopter moving at a decent speed already ran him over by the time he reacts.
Well, them tourist helicopters aren't going to be doing much more than 60 miles an hour.
considering he was coming in for a landing, no, you're right. He was probably pretty slow.
He was probably even slower than that at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If he was doing 30 mile an hour, I'd probably be surprised at that point because he's getting ready to put it down.
And I must admit, the
Okay.
police helicopter that flies around Manchester, that comes over our house every now and again when something's happening, is flaming loud. The daft thing about it is it can put suppressors on its props to make it so that it's silent mode.
Yeah,
It
if they
don't work.
change the pitch, they can
They
make
are
it
silent.
less noisy.
It's so that when they're using the helicopter to chase stolen cars, the criminals can't hear the helicopters above them.
Mm-hmm.
But when they go over the house, you can still hear them. It just makes a different noise, that's all.
Really hard to zoom in on Street View off your phone.
Hey, everybody, I think I'm gonna call it.
Let me see here.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody, hey, thanks for being here. Rod, David, Mark, and everybody in the chat, thanks for being